really good pump from our arm day. First things first, what do you think about Burnside?
Definitely made me sweat. The caffeine was a little low, but I felt fine throughout the workout, really.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I noticed with this workout, because since it was a little bit different than what my other workouts are, right?
Yeah.
A lot of mine are specifically like time intervaled, and like it's depending on the weight and things like that. So with this workout, we kind of did a little bit of time mixed with just straight up sets, and then a little bit of heaviness. I mean, it was really a combination.
Yeah, we kind of did it all.
And so with this, I mean, I felt like I was able to go through the whole workout pretty nice.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I'm intrigued to try it again and try to see if I can continually do it.
Yeah, I definitely use it again. I don't know if it's an everyday thing, really, because I like my caffeine to pick me up after work, so.
I mean, like this caffeine for me personally was a good pick me up.
Really?
Yeah.
I usually use like 300.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll do Total War, which is like almost 250.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, it has other stimulants that keep me awake. But I think this is a really good thing that I can like cycle through.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I can do this one for like 2 or 3 days, and then kind of go back and forth and just kind of do it that way. But it's not really even a pre-workout. It has just caffeine in it. And also taurine in it to kind of get you just going. So that's kind of why I chose it for pre-workout. And then I also drank my Built, which that was...
Yeah, how do you like that? It smelled funny, but...
It smelled gross. It tasted okay.
It's good.
Throughout the workout, it's just I needed some sugar, so...
What flavor was it?
Lemon lime.
Those are usually pretty good.
They're actually not, though.
Really?
Like for me, yeah, it's more acidic.
Yeah.
Compared to actually like a true type of like tropical punch or whatever. So
I kind of like them. I had like a lemon lime like Evolution BCA thing that I kind of drink at work, and it's fine.
Speaking of which, do you want some BCAs?
Yeah, I can take some.
I mean, it's up to you. I can
do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a good workout. We first started with like machine dips, supersetted those with machine curls. Then we went into time, one arm like cable tricep, push downs with cable curls. Then went into seated hammer curls with like the Arnold press or kettlebell, like overhead tricep press for time.
So I really enjoy that.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was a new technique I hadn't used before. Then we did concentration curls with skull crushers.
Oh, this tastes great.
Yeah, this does taste really good. Kind of tastes like a melted popsicle.
Yeah, so this is Extend. This is a BCA that BCAA that I actually got at GNC. Intended to be a pre-workout, but it's just a BCAA, so...
It tastes really good.
Yeah, it does.
Straight up like juice or something.
It has Valium in it, so it's a vasodilator.
Oh, really? That's good. I'm working on my veins. Whenever I like get a pump, they kind of come out, but
the only
I just
one
want like resting ones.
Oh, like my shoulder one that I have. Yeah, the shoulder one is kind of scary because I've had that sucker for a long time. Oh, good, he didn't park in the handicapped. Golly. So, actually, let me vent a little bit.
Oh boy.
So there is this guy in this like brownish, goldish Toyota that will park in the handicap parking lot or parking spots, even though you're not supposed to. And even though he's been called out multiple times on it, still does it. And he clearly walks out of his car completely fine. He doesn't have any sort of handicap tags. He doesn't have anything. And
yeah, he's just a normal dude.
Yep.
Skinny dude.
Yep.
Huh.
And he just walks up the stairs just nonchalantly, and so pretty much if there are no spots in this specific area here, he will go directly right here, right in front of.
That's dumb. There's so many parking spots along the side, and it's not a far walk at all.
Well, the thing is that he actually doesn't even live here. I found out.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't even live here.
What's he doing here?
It's because of, I guess, his girlfriend lives here or something like that, and they have a kid.
Oh my god.
Or something like it's something kind of complicated like that. But it's like there's actually parking in this specific apartment complex that has guest parking.
Really?
Yeah, so like so people don't get towed.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is actually a towing area. Oh, excuse me.
Nice park in a normal spot.
And so he finally parked in a normal spot. Like that is actually the first time I've ever seen him park in a normal
Really?
spot. Dead
Oh my
serious.
gosh.
Dead serious.
Reminds me of like an episode of The Simpsons. Homer, he like can't find a parking spot, so he parks like across 3 handicap spots and gets out and just starts walking with a limp towards the door.
But it's just so annoying because like it hasn't been just like one occasion.
It's like every time.
Yeah, and so like it kind of begs me to think that he lives here, and
Yeah.
if that's the case, then that's technically not allowed
Yeah.
because of I think those are actually 1 bedrooms. So if that's the case, if they're just 1 bedrooms, then you can only have 2 people living
Yeah.
because like that's the limit.
Yeah.
And like that's actually against Missouri law, or is it against? I don't know. It's
Really?
against some sort of housing restrictions. But yeah,
Interesting. Well, he parked next to a handicap spot, so I guess he got lucky. Didn't have to park in one this time.
of course, because but anyway, it's been happening for like 4 to 5 weeks,
Dang.
and he like 6 o'clock he will park right there, right in front of the hole, and which he will leave and come
Oh,
back.
is he the guy that like leaves his lights on, just like shining straight in?
No, but some other people do. But then I typically will like close the blinds at that certain time frame. So like, I mean, with summer and everything, I'm gonna keep them out for a little bit
Yeah,
longer.
this light is so late.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What was it like last night? It was like 8:30,
Yeah, man, it
9
keeps
o'clock.
getting further, yeah.
Well, no, because since last night is the longest day.
Oh yeah, it's the solstice.
Yep. So it is actually going to be coming backwards,
Oh.
but it's still going to be pretty light out. So like 7 o'clock, you're going to be like, oh, this is really nice because it's like
Yeah.
going to be maybe barely even different than this. So
Yeah, I like it.
yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. Ugh, yeah, this really tastes good.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Do they like have a refrigerator at that one GNC, or is it just like on the shelf? And
They actually have a small refrigerator,
Oh, really?
so just in case, yeah.
I stopped going to that GNC. Well, now I like order all my supplements online. But in high
It's the
school,
easiest way.
yeah, in high school, my brother and I went into that GNC, and there's just like one like buff dude in there. And my brother and I are just like super skinny, and there was no music playing. It was just me and my brother walking around in silence, just like looking at stuff. And then we just left without saying anything. We're like, we're not going back there.
It's super fascinating because like almost every supplement like place I've been into, it is like so on supplements they'll tell you keep it in a cool, dry place, right?
Yeah.
Every single supplement store I've walked into, it is hot. I'm like, it's like it feels it's closer to 77 degrees in
Yeah.
here. I'm sweating while talking to you. Like that's not good.
Yeah.
Right? I'm
It's
like,
uncomfortable working.
yeah, it's just like, oh, come on, man. And so I hate like standing in there and talking to them because like I'm literally just
Yeah.
like sweating,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how are you able to
Yeah,
like stay in
here
here?
for hours. It's just trying to burn some fat.
I couldn't do it. That was kind of the same thing with Macy's. It's like I would,
Really?
yeah, Macy's like that specific area, like in the back. Like if you stay back there for so long, I would just break out in sweat.
That's weird.
I break out in sweat on like freaking planes too. So
Usually I'm good on planes if they have like that air overhead like air thing. I'm fine.
no, I would have to have it like everywhere on
Yeah.
me. I hate it because it's just like one little area, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I even open it all the way as
Yeah.
much as I can, which I try my best to not like offend other people too, especially if I'm sitting by somebody.
Yeah.
So do you have any trips coming up other than next week?
Yeah, next week I'm going to Miami for a week, seeing a
Welcome
Marlins
to
game.
Miami.
So, yeah, I want to play that song the whole time, but Alyssa will get mad.
You're gonna get some white.
I don't think so.
Dude, I mean, like that's the place to do it. If
Yeah.
anything,
Oh, I'm
pretty
sure it'll
much.
be very easy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go to like a club on South Beach, just like one night, like from like 10 to 12, just like
Yeah.
not a crazy hour.
I mean,
just to
experience it, yeah.
I'm not gonna go out and bust moves on the dance floor. Really,
You gonna go to Little
but,
Cuba?
Maybe. I've got some places kind of scouted out, but I'm mostly just like beach.
So you guys are flying down there?
Yeah, we're flying Southwest. Alyssa had like some like coupons and points and stuff, so we are only paying for one round trip. So that's
nice.
awesome. And then we're not paying for hotels because of points and stuff. And then
That's crazy.
yeah, it'll be nice. And then we'll come back. I'm on an audit out of town somewhere in the middle of nowhere for a week, and then I come back to St. Louis that next weekend, and then we're taking the train up to Chicago, spending Saturday to Tuesday there. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Wow. You got some nice days off.
Yeah, but then after that I have nothing planned, so it'll be a good upcoming weeks.
My next trip I have is actually, it's going to be the first week of August or even the second
yeah.
week of August. Yeah, so they're both work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still good to get out.
The first one, we might be going to the FLW Forest Wood Cup. That is a
Interesting.
fishing tournament.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Hot Springs.
Okay.
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
I hear that's pretty cool. I haven't been down there.
Never been down there, so I mean, we might actually just drive down there because it's 5 hours.
Yeah, that's definitely drivable.
Well, the thing is that with the company, it's like after 4 hours, they can debate on whether to,
Fly or drive.
and which they have company cars, so it's like
Nice.
like we'll drive. So like I actually drove to Flocktoberfest, which was in October about 2 years ago, which they're gonna have again coming up, in which I drove there, and I drove the nicest Toyota 4Runner.
Nice.
So nice. I was like,
Those are nice cars.
Oh,
like, they
man.
look pretty cool.
Well, here's the thing. It's like Shelby actually really hates the boxiness of it.
No, the boxy's the cool part.
I loved driving it,
Yeah,
man.
it
I
looks
loved
cool.
being that high up. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, no wonder people. No wonder I see these on the road all the time.
Yeah.
It's like this makes so much more sense.
How's like the interior? I've only really seen them, like, driving around.
It was straight up all black, which I didn't like, but.
It's
know.
like just trying to be like a utility vehicle. Like you can take it off road or just road trips and stuff.
I mean, the thing was that I actually took it off road. So
That's awesome.
So my GPS told me to take this backwood road, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I had a quarter tank of gas left. I'm in the middle of nowhere,
God, I hate
no
that.
service,
I hate that so much.
no service, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm driving, and I'm like, it's either here or here, and I'm like, I better pick here. So sure enough, I did, and like, I mean, I saw a truck like in this like backwoods road of like hay bales of like 2 to 3 times its size, and I was just like, where am I?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, boom, 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 boom. But I mean, you know, it's a 4Runner, so it's nice
They
and
can
easy.
handle it, yeah.
It is, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a really interesting ride. So, and then one of us will be either going to that, and then the other one will be going to Pheasant Classic, or you know, I mean, we'll just be swapping. So we've got that's in October, but then we have the night race in middle of August, and then we have the Forestwood Cup, and then we have another thing. I don't remember. There's so much.
Yeah, sounds like you got a lot of travel potentially ahead of you.
Yep. But that means that I get comp days.
Nice.
So-
it's always nice.
Yeah, so like whenever I go up to Oregon in September, I have Wednesday all the way through Sunday off,
Nice.
in which so I took Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, which is nice because like I only took 3 days. So then I have a total of 7 more days in the bank. So I'm gonna take, because since I'm doing a weekend for the night race, I get 2 days off.
Nice.
So I'm gonna do Monday, Tuesday. So then so like the Labor Day week, right? I'm on that Friday, I'm going up to Kansas City, and then I'm staying up there for a couple days, and then finally flying out.
Nice. That
Eugene.
sounds pretty good.
It's gonna be a nice 8 to 9 days.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a nice vacation. Get out to Oregon. Some good nature out there.
See the coast, get some nice
Yeah.
seafood,
Yeah,
and which
that'll
I'm
be
actually
awesome.
bringing this. I'm bringing my laptop.
Oh
and-
yeah, you gonna do some filming?
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Is that we're thinking about doing some filming.
Like gym related stuff or what?
It might be actually, yeah.
Nice.
I'm thinking about maybe even doing some sort of gym talk with Nick
Nice, that'd be interesting.
and seeing it, and yeah, just getting his whole ideals of fitness.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
talk to him about it, and
What
then
he's been doing is definitely working.
Yeah. He actually recently injured his back though. He was pulling. I think he said some stupid amount, like 545.
Oh my gosh.
In which he got it up for the first rep, and then he came back down and he tried for the second set, and in which he's like, I don't know if I should try this or not. And in which he brought it back up. He got it up, and then he goes, nope.
Bad choice.
Yep. And then after that, he's been having some complications, and which this is super interesting actually, because so he went to a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And the chiropractor didn't really examine him or really take a look at him. He's like, hey, I have a problem with my hip and my leg and everything else, and I can't really do much, and like my back is hurting.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, okay. And so he just did like a routine kind of like back pop, and that's it. And then he just let him go. Didn't do any sort of examining, didn't really even talk to him or anything like that. And he goes, that's not right. So he goes to another person, and the person's like, wait, this person did what? And he's like, yeah, this person did this, this, and this. And he goes, that's not right. So then that guy recommended another person, and he told the same story to him because since apparently the guy that he went to isn't specialized in that.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that the guy he talked to is actually going to the chiropractic reviewing board.
Oh, really?
For that guy, because apparently they have to do a certain standard, right?
And he just hasn't been meeting that. Did he mess up his back more? Or?
No, he didn't mess up his back more, but he didn't help. He didn't help
heal it or anything.
Well, no, he didn't actually even look at the problem because the thing was that he did like a routine alignment.
Yeah.
In which that's not
why it was in there.
Exactly. You have to cater to the person compared to like your own plan. And so now what they're doing is that Nick might be getting reimbursed for all the other people that he went to.
Nice.
From that person. And on top of that, the guy's getting a review and also a deeper review of like, okay, if he's done that to Nick, who else has he done that to?
Yeah, dang, that's crazy.
And he might get his license revoked.
Well,
I was like,
keep up with their standards.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So haven't heard anything back from that one, but it's something.
So is he like healing now, like better? Like
I think so. I don't know.
Just taking it easy on like back stuff.
Yeah. He's taking it easy on back and legs. But then I think he's been focusing a lot more on his arms, chest, and shoulders. So
nice.
But for shoulders, he still has to take it easy, especially like if you're standing and doing shoulders.
Yeah,
like that's
a lot of like lower back.
A lot of lower back if you're not careful. Yep. So he's been pretty much just not really doing a lot of lifting. I mean, he's still thick.
Yeah.
He still is really, really thick. And like I saw him, and I'm like, you still have the structure. I just noticed that it's not as defined.
Yeah.
So.
Well, once you get back into it, if you've already like had that like.
Oh, 100%. He's just gonna go.
It'll come back a lot easier.
He's just gonna go. Yeah. He's gonna blow up once he feels really good. So.
Nice.
But yeah. All right. Well, this is post gym talk number 19.
Yeah.
19.
Wait.
20, or 20.
20. Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Tyler better be here for the 21st.
Looking at you, kid.
And also, he was like teasing life updates for a while, and then he like stopped for like 3. Like he was like got a job or something. He's like, oh, I'm gonna release it.
Yeah. He hasn't told anybody about the job.
So I'm
yet.
like, what's going on? Like he was teasing this for a while. So Tyler.
So I'll wait for him to tell it. But the job is actually pretty cool.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm kind of jealous because like I've actually wanted to work at this place whenever or before going to Bass Pro, but let's just say he's got some pretty cool perks.
Awesome. Sounds pretty cool. Hopefully I'll hear about it.
Hopefully. Yeah. Tyler, we're looking at you. No, it's okay. I definitely understand. I think he has some family things that he has to take care of.
Yeah, and it's the summer. People are getting out, so I'm not going to be here for like for the next few weeks.
Yeah, I'm honestly also intrigued to see how his routine is going, especially with he had some complications at home. So
plus whenever you're not at like your home, like Springfield, like home gym and stuff, it's hard to work out.
Yeah, so he's been I think he's been focusing a lot more on his diet than anything right now.
Yeah? Well,
he's gosh, when is it? It's like isn't it? I think in middle of August. That's when his competition's at, and so I mean, you're talking about just a couple months away.
Dang.
So yeah,
That's awesome. I'm trying to dial in my diet too, trying to lose the last little bit of fat.
Are you
my
thinking about competing?
No, I'm not big enough. But I'm always like telling Alyssa like, like I'll flex and do stuff. I'm like, I need to work on this for the Olympian stuff. Like just joking with her. She's like, you're so pale. I'm like, yeah, I need to get tan or.
Well, I mean, they just decent iodine. Yeah, that
I'm always like joking about her. I'm like, my contest and blah blah blah.
Well, I mean, like
so skinny though.
I mean, you could do
Like-
physique.
Yeah, like lower weight, body weight people.
Well, it's physique is the board shorts.
Yeah, I've seen those. I like I work my legs twice a week.
just have to- I think
just shred your upper body.
Yeah, you would have to. You have to get lean calves.
Yeah.
A wide back, and then really after that, just keep everything else lean.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all those guys do. It's just like you keep that lean, wide back, shredded calves, and then you're golden. Like
I
you can.
I don't really want to look like those guys.
Oh
I just want to be like
totally.
movie like actor lean.
Totally.
Just, like, look good, but you're not gonna win a competition or anything.
And that's what even Generation Iron 3 talks about.
Yeah. Because it was getting like too gross, like too fine tuned, and like the women too. Like they didn't want like the muscular women so much like bikinis
which honestly I'm kind of disappointed in Joe Wida to do that, but at the same time I understand because the thing was that it was the lowest participating or lowest fan base event. So like you're talking about, there was only a few amount of people, and they were like, well, we either for money issues, right? It's like we either cut ties with it or we
change it somehow.
We change it somehow, and so how they changed it was that a lot of women did the aerobic type of like dancing routine type of thing, in which like that I understand to a further extent, but at the same time I don't. It's like, so they have to be lean, right? And then like they do their bikini thing one day, then the next day they do their routine. It's like, so you're talking about they have to cut and like
be super weak. And then
super weak.
Do a routine the next day.
And do a routine. And the routines are like backflips. I mean, like total, like crazy stuff I've seen. I'm like, how do you guys do this? Like, that is insane. And so they kept that one, but they got rid of the physique, the women's physique, and they kept the bikini one separate. So like you can do a bikini one separate, then you can do that other one. And it's just like, there's only 2 different classes for them. And it's like, that's nothing. Compared to men where you have 4 classes.
Based on weight or based on like what they're looking at?
Yeah, the physique, which is board shorts, right? Yeah. Those guys typically, honestly, a lot of them, you can compete, or you can compete amateurly, right? If you just do a 12-month shred, everything else, you'll be able to compete, right?
Yeah.
And which you'll be able to get actually surprisingly pretty far. And then you have the, then the physique actually in the Mr. Olympia is pretty intense. But then you have the classic. Yes, you have the classic. Classic is like Chris Bumstead. Regan Grimes was that at one point. Yeah. Pretty much these guys are like lean and also built. Honestly, I think they're the best looking overall because they're not grotesquely large, but at the same time they are really big.
Yeah, really cut still.
Really cut. I mean, they look proportionally great.
Yeah.
They just look good, right?
Yeah.
And which that's actually the fastest growing one. Then you have the 212. So anybody under 212, that is considered the open. So Flex Lewis was that at one point, and which he actually just recently retired from the 212 and is now going to the open. So he's taking a year off for 2020. Yeah, 2020 is whenever he's going to jump on stage again. And so the 212 didn't, honestly, it started about 7 years ago. And ever since it started, Flex Lewis has been the champion. So this is the new first year. So it's pretty surprising to see who's going to be competing in that. But pretty much it's those guys that are really, really big, but they cannot compete in the Open because the other guys are so massive.
Yeah.
And that's really what it
Yeah.
is. And then you have the Open, which those guys are typically 250 pounds plus.
Like the mass monsters. They're just
Phil
like
Heath, Kai
cows up
Green,
there,
Rory
yeah.
Winkler, Dennis Wolf, Branch Warren. Then you have Lee Priest was one of them. Dorian Yates was one of them. So like a lot of those guys are the more named or most notorious
I recognize
names.
more of those names.
Yeah, those are kind of like, that's the Mr. Olympian, right?
Yeah.
That is the Mr. Olympia. So like Arnold was in that.
Yeah.
And the purse for that to get first place is, in which it's been going up every single year.
Yeah.
Last year was $400,000
Nice.
to get first place.
Not a
So
bad
Sean
payday.
Roden won and defeated Phil Heath.
Yeah, I saw something on that. I don't really follow that stuff that much. Just kind of like the Generation
See, I
Irons and
do.
stuff.
So yeah. The Generation Iron is a really good introduction. I honestly recommend you watching Generation Iron 3.
I think I might have seen that.
Is that the one about?
Do they talk more about like social media, like influencing?
That's 2.
That's 2? Maybe I haven't
That's
seen
with
3.
Callum, Dana Lynn Bailey. That's with Kai Green. That's
Yeah.
with Rich Piana, which Rich Piana has passed away after that was, or before that was released. He passed
Really?
away. Mhm.
Yeah, I remember hearing about him passing.
But like Generation Iron 3 is about it. That one's super interesting because it goes really more in depth about the whole like Mr. Olympia and like the different classes. And so like they explain, they're like, okay, here's everything and here's all you need to know about this, right? And then they really talk a lot about the international, which is super surprising. So Regan Grimes is actually one of the guys that they follow. And you know, that was his time frame whenever he was big enough to go into the Open, but he decided to go down to the Classic. Now this year he's going to the Open. So it's because of he could barely even make weight, and on top of that he just did not look good compared to like his fullness. Like the problem is that he just has so chubby cheeks that it's very hard for him to actually like look good without being round. So like him being slim and lean just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I could go on for that one, but that's it's gonna be surprising this year. It's in September, of course, in Las Vegas as usual. They're gonna have an expo with it.
Nice.
They always do that every single year. So maybe I'll go one year, but we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll see. So anyway, gonna end this post gym talk.
It's been good.
Yeah, it's really long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on this with
Yeah, no problem.
such a short notice.
Yeah. Just anytime I'm in town and you need a fill in, just let me know.
We'll do, man. And let us know what you guys think about the video. Let us know what you guys think about actually the Mr. Olympia. I'm very intrigued to see your guys' comments, if there's any. And make sure you like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching.